welcome back to the channel. We have another haul, and this time, yes, it is Asda. I had to go somewhere again. I didn't specifically drive there because I did say that not everything is their cheapest, but because I have been in the vicinity of the Asda, I haven't had a choice as to go but and pop in and pick up some extra bits as I do every week. We all heard, obviously, guys, the inflation seems to be at what, 16%. So it seems to be extremely high, and I have noticed some things even from Asda, they seem to increase the price from the last time I did the Asda shop by quite a bit. So I have started now buying extra, which I haven't been doing before, but I have started buying extra to give to the food banks because I do feel myself, even looking at the prices, that the things are quite a bit tougher now. So if you guys do want to help, just watch the adverts if you can. Obviously that'd be a great help. So this way at least we can basically spread the good word. I do support local charities by working and collecting surplus food from Tesco's and giving it away for people that need it anyway. But that little bit here, guys, it will just help if you just watch the advert. So anyway, I move on to, of course, the first thing is the pasta and the rice. The pasta spaghetti is still 28 pence and the rice still 48p. I told you before there wasn't a point buying it from there because it was a bit dearer. However, Lidl yet again seemed to have an empty shelf for the rice the other day, so I thought I'll just buy this, and it goes without saying, it lasts forever, so I'll just get it back in the cupboard. So 48 pence and 28 pence. I picked up a couple of the porridge oats because they were cheaper than Lidl, so they're 70p still. I've bought some of the meats, and I found, guys, that I have I'm lacking certain things. You know, I have like a tunnel vision, and we probably all do when we're stockpiling. It's like I'm concentrating on like rice and pasta and tin tomatoes, rice and pasta and tin tomatoes. But of course, there's other things that we really need when things get tough. So I'm trying to think a little bit, not say outside the box, but I'm just trying to target in different areas to basically put in my cupboard. So of course, can't still resist pasta or rice. Anyway, so I've bought some meaty stuff. So we've got the chunky chicken in the white sauce. They're currently 97p, which is, I think, is quite a-okay for a kind of a protein meat. I've picked up a couple of their soups. Their soups are by far cheaper than Lidl, so they are 24 pence for the chicken soup and a 30p for tomato soup. So I picked up a couple of those. I picked up some vegetables, and I said this before, I really can't bring myself to buy tin vegetables, but the price, my goodness, I just looking at the price going up pretty much like every couple of weeks. So this one from Asda, mixed vegetables in salted water. It's a little bit nicer than in the plain water, I find. 65p. It kind of doesn't sound too bad, but there are things that they're far more expensive as vegetables. So I'm like really surprised. I picked up a couple of the plum tomatoes. For some reason, normally just go for the chopped, but it is nice to have a variety. Even a simple thing is just a peeled tomato, just different from chopped tomato for whatever reason I won't choose to use it. So yeah, they're 28 pence each. I picked up the corned beef, right? I went in there because I'm lacking a load of protein. Apart from tuna, lacking meat, and it's so expensive. I was just cringing, but I know, absolutely know, that it's going to be going up in price quite a bit more. I know some people reported, I think somebody's seen a corned beef for like over £5. Anyway, I've bought a yellow one Asda. It's £1.85, which is matching Lidl at the moment, I think. Because we're only allowed to buy 3, I've bought 3 of them, and then I bought 9 of the Asda other ones, which are obviously unlimited quantities. They are £2.20. I have compared the labels, and there's pretty much nothing in between them apart from like 1 calorie and 0.1% difference in some way. So they are pretty much identical. But yeah, that's almost 23 quid I spent on the meat, which is like extremely expensive. And I was cringing when I was doing that. But I know that my pantry really needs meat or any sort of protein in the cupboard. So here we are. Right, next thing, guys, sliced mushrooms, 50p, as the ones are 50p. They have the other brand there, was 80 pence for tin tomatoes, 80 pence for a tin of, not tomatoes, mushrooms. I think it was absolutely ridiculous. I haven't got any mushrooms in my cupboard, so I thought, okay, let's get some, because again, you can add it onto the pasta, to the same tin tomatoes, make a nice sauce. It's just 50p, it's still okay, I can live with that, but 80 pence, I don't know, I don't think so. But anyway, I bought a couple of the chili con carne, so obviously you have to have the beans and the mincemeats already inside. It's £1.25, it's kind of a one tin portion, so nonetheless, it's meat in there and it's something different to have in your cupboard. I picked up a Branston pickle, for you guys in the US, if you don't know, that's basically vegetables, chopped up vegetables in some sort of vinegary, sweet vinegar spiced sauce, basically. And we normally put this in the sandwiches. That was kind of on deal at Asda for £2 for the big jar, which is not too bad because Lidl do their version. I think it's 90p for a little jar. And this is Branston, so it's a bit better. Right. Oh, excuse the coffee machine. Right, next thing as well. One thing I was forgetting to get is like side things. You've got tomato ketchup. We've got obviously mayonnaise, but things like horseradish sauce, I quite like to have that with different meats, things like that. But 85p for the tiny little jar. I'm pretty sure I've been buying them at Asda last year at 35p. So huge price increase. And again, I was like, I don't really want to buy that, but I kind of do because later it's probably going to be £1. Mint sauce, 85p. I know you can make your own if you grow mint. I grow mint, but it doesn't grow as well for some reason here, so I just get it. Again, 85p, slightly bigger jar, but it's kind of a lot of money still anyway. Right, I picked up a couple of the baking things. They're still 75p. It's like butter replacement, but it's obviously made with vegetable oils, but it's still quite cheap and you can still cook with it. So I find it quite okay to use as a substitute. So it's only got 6 months shelf life, but you can freeze it. So I've got mine in the fridge. Right, I picked up a couple of those curry sauces. I picked up 28p, right? It's really cheap. Again, for me, it's more likely to buy a jar for more, just the jar by itself for my pickles and stuff. So 28p for a jar that's got some sauce in it. It's quite okay. So of course I'll be probably changing it up a bit because they're a little bit plain, but nonetheless 28p and I get a jar. I'm well happy with that. Their pasta sauce is 39p. I think we discussed that. They seem to be quite okay, and for 39p it's pretty good. I've got one of those casserole. I haven't tried that one yet, but I assume it's just basically sauce to put your meat in. I don't believe there's got any meat in it. So it's basically just like a gravy sauce. To be fair, 94p I think is quite a lot of money if it is just a bit of a thick gravy. So I'm gonna give that a try and see how that goes. Right, my thinking outside the box is custards. I know, sounds daft, but I think have some custard in my cupboard, but not a lot. Asda do the instant custard for 20p. You only have to add water to that. I've tried the instant custard with water. It's not the best, but it's very cheap and you don't need to have milk for that. So if you have any issues with milk, then it's absolutely brilliant. 20p will just goes in the cupboard. I bought some of those. Again, they've gone up in price. They're 55p at the moment. So it's kind of handy on if you can't be bothered in boiling the kettle or whatever. It's kind of already ready to go. So I picked up 3 of them. I will get a little bit more, but as we go along. Custard, another custard, bird's eye custard. This one is you need to boil this properly with milk, so it's not quite as instant. It was on deal at £1.25. I have this one before. This is absolutely brilliant, but it does require you to heat this up. So do you remember before I said to you guys, if you have ability to have something of a specific item, then have variations depending, so you can be ready for any situation. So to me, to have the ready-made custard that you need to boil with milk, or custard for water that you just boil the kettle, this is a perfect example of having a variation of one product. Okay, jelly, that's gone up again. Basically like a little unnecessary sweet treat. There were 75p a couple of weeks back when I bought one. They're now 80p. Not a huge increase, but I remember those things being like 25p, and then I remember them being 45p, and now that. It's not something I eat a lot of. However, I think if you have some tinned fruit and you want something sweet, you can set them in that. Happy days, and it's pretty much lasts indefinitely anyway. And then I'm coming on to obviously this thing as well. Somebody commented, guys, from US again, you guys buy like a angel whip or angel, it's called something similar, and I thought this is a really good idea. So you just mix it up with a bit of milk, and you basically have some sort of a, I don't know, like a sauce type thing, like a custard basically, but you've got different flavorings. And in Asda they were doing them 2 for £1. It's 50p each. So I thought, okay, it's got date until August 23, but that's best before anyway. So if it's something different to have in the pantry for little kiddies or whatever, well, happy with that. And last but not least, guys, is foil. This is going to be one of my videos of things of a necessity and things we will be struggling to get probably very soon, or we'll be paying a lot of money. I'm pretty sure I always have a lot of foil, but I buy them in bulk from like Lakeland and stuff. Those things are now 68p and they are 20 meters and they are really super thin. I'm pretty sure I remember, like, again, going back like a year or two, they were like 45 pence, 45 pence, and I'm pretty sure they were like 30 or 50 meters. So if you have been buying the Asda one before, and if you do remember, please confirm below in the comments whether they were bigger, because I'm pretty sure I remember picking up the rolls, it was quite a bit thicker than that, but no, nonetheless, 68p for 20 meters is still quite an okay price, but it will change very, very soon. So here we are, guys. Really, this is my weekly sort of top up thing with the stuff. And I said, just trying to think a little bit outside the box, just trying to sort of, I'm sure we all just tunneled on certain stuff. And I appreciate there will be some bits very, very soon. Again, I'll do another video where the things are going to be disappearing. And I always told you time and time again, the cheaper stuff, it is going to be going first. So tunnel your vision for the, like, maybe if you want a pasta or rice, because they're so cheap, but not for very long whatsoever. And then obviously try to then digress and find the holes in your pantry where you feel you could really do and fill those holes with some produce. So here we are. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video, find it at least helpful. Don't forget to thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.